Take a deep breath and gather a thought. Before your colors, before the brush, before the line, will come a word, a single phrase that stirs something deep within you. Maybe a lyric, a prayer, or a whisper from your own heart. This is where mindfulness art begins, where we blend creativity, stillness, and the freedom to feel. Let that word rest quietly in you and let it guide your hands today. I'm working in my large sketchbook, beginning with gesso, a layer that strengthens the page and invites paint to move freely. As it dries, I think about my chosen word. Today it's peace and calm, soft words that feel like sunlight through the trees. When I'm through completely covering my pages, I'm going to give my gesso time to completely dry, or I'll blow it dry before my next step, which is adding color. I'm going to be using tube watercolor. Today, I brush on yellow oxide and rub it gently into the gessoed surface and then lift it away, letting the page glow like a memory. This is intuitive painting, a process that listens as much as it creates. The gesso creates a barrier on the page, and now I'm just using a paper towel and wiping away a little bit of the color until I'm happy with the surface. Now I began to write my words, slowly, mindfully, with my Neocolor pastel that matches my mood. Each letter becomes a quiet meditation, a reminder to slow down and breathe. I think about the peace I search for in nature, in the rhythm of daily life, in small things like my pets, the garden, and the deer that wander through the yard. These are the roots of mindful creativity, finding the beauty in stillness and turning emotion into marks and color. So that first part, we're really doing a deep dive into a word or a phrase or a poem or a prayer, something that deeply resonates with us. So in the next portion, whatever kind of imagery comes up with that or something that deeply connects with us, we're going to pull those images. Maybe you want to use some collage from your collage collections. I like to use things like old paintings, parts of jelly prints, but you can use magazine images, whatever you feel like you're comfortable with. I sometimes collect old books, vintage books. I might use some of those images in my work when I'm doing this kind of thing. I might collage some of that stuff down. Things like that you can incorporate. You don't have to add the collage if you don't want to. But the next part, I'm going to just draw, and then I'm going to start painting in acrylic. I may go back in later with more Neocolor on top, but you'll see how I begin to layer. And the whole process is very intuitive, so we're going to get into that. So let's hop in. Once the words are in place, I start to sketch, lightly, intuitively, just shapes, motion, and balance. This is the heart of art journaling, allowing what you feel to guide what you make. Acrylic, gouache, watercolor, each one carries its own voice. Choose the one that you feel you want to work with. Today, I chose acrylic for the main body of my piece. I let them blend and whisper together. If you paint along with me, don't worry about the outcome. Just follow your curiosity. That's where your most authentic art lives. After I complete my drawing, I start to build more depth now, layering color, papers, and feelings. This is where mixed media comes alive. Anything can change at this moment. The drawing can always change. The layering can always change later in the painting. But this first composition is a starting point. And this is where we begin the layering. So I love to use collage, pieces of old paintings, old jelly prints, fragments from past creative moments. Each layer carries a memory. It turns the page into a story. This is what mindful art journaling truly is. Not perfection, but presence. The more you create, the more you'll notice what calls to you again and again. You'll notice that you have particular things that show up time and again in your paintings. These are your symbols. Your own visual language will start to emerge. For me, it's often women, and even if they're not self-portraits, there's some version of myself. I also use nature, plants, animals, and especially birds. They appear quietly in so many of my sketchbook pages and paintings as symbols of freedom, serenity, and grace. Maybe for you, it's flowers, hands, or patterns. Listen for those things that repeat. It's your creative intuition speaking. This is the part of the painting where I truly lose myself in the process of painting. I'm no longer thinking about any of the things that I'm doing, and I'm completely lost in the moment. I don't really spend too much time thinking about what colors I'm choosing, how I'm mixing them. Time just falls away, and it could be 5 minutes or 5 hours. I no longer am registering how much time I'm spending outside in my studio, just like painting. And that is what we're all striving for when we're looking for mindfulness, is to find that process or thing that takes us to that place that makes time slip away, and where we can really just lose ourselves in the process of doing something that we love so much. Sometimes I really do think about my paintings like stories, or, about how peaceful it must feel to lay in the meadow with the deer or the fawn and just go to sleep. Yesterday morning, I was going out to my studio, which is in an outbuilding on my property, and I went out and there was a beautiful doe between the house and the barn where my studio is. And if I didn't see her standing there, I don't think I would have painted this today. I started it yesterday, but I don't think I would have done this painting. So I think sometimes your environment can really influence you in what you're painting, and I certainly am influenced by nature because I'm surrounded by nature and animals and wildlife. At this point in the painting, when things are really starting to develop and I'm getting farther along, I really start to try to listen to my voice and just, try to step back a little bit and see what else it needs. And I really wanted to bring in, more nature elements, more foliage, and I did have the big pink flower from the jelly print there already, which I really liked. And it was related, and we had some other, like the vines that are in the Celtic design, which I really thought were beautiful. So I added just kind of some greenery, which I thought kind of set off, kind of distinguish between the deer and the woman's hair, because they were very similar in color. And then, of course I had to go back in, and in keeping with the theme of peace and calm, I gave the woman just kind of a white dress, just a white dress, like a symbol, also symbolic of peace and kind of calm. So that's why she's wearing the white. And then, I didn't continue her form off the page or anything. I just, it's just a very abstracted idea, I suppose. And then, because things are still really exploding in color where I live right now, because we're in autumn, I decided to do, and I had this picture that was just in my collage box of, I don't know, a woman on a beach, and it had these really dramatic trees in the background, and I just love the shape of these trees. I guess they were probably so dramatic because they were wind blown or something. So I kind of like the branches were really curly and stuff. And then the background, I just blended some brighter yellow with white, and I painted it into the background. I went over the background a lot. You can still see the words, but they're more veiled, which I love. And then I went in at the very end and added gold embellishments just for some mark making and sparkle, which I really love the way that looks. I just think it adds so much. I did a lot of extra mark making in the background just because I thought it would give it a really beautiful finish. Tell me what you thought in the comments below.